Here behind me outside of Will Rogers Airport, you can see the damage as well. In between hangar 2 and 3, you can even see a plane buried beneath debris. Emotions were really pouring out as people heard this news. I was able to talk with supporters about their first reactions and what's next for the Justice for Julius campaign. This morning, ME Labs reopened their free COVID testing site, which will also run weekly from Sundays through Fridays. I'm here on the corner of Jenkins and Brooks, standing directly on the platform where the Selman brothers will stand within the next year. And as self-proclaimed history buffs like myself, they said they enjoyed seeing the important landmarks in history and were humbled by the sights they saw. I'm just going to get a little lesson from my friend Jaden Knowles, but you may know him as Weatherman Jay. Now, I reached out to police about the investigation, but they were not available for comment. I'm here outside the Supreme Court where they just ended a demonstration to pass the For the People Act. And Oklahoma lawmakers from Broken Arrow and Yukon are challenging Biden's recent executive orders against guns. This one's not too colorful, but it's made by Chaskey Fair Trade Goods. I'm outside S&S Textiles, where earlier this morning, strong winds blew off the roof. Representatives from both Poe and Associates, as well as the Oklahoma Turnpike, say that this project could take up to 15 years to complete. So if you plan on coming this Saturday, don't forget your appetite. It's corn dog time in Oklahoma. Thanks, guys. I'm outside S&S Textiles, where earlier this morning, strong winds blew off the roof. I talked with the owner about damages the storm may have caused and what it's doing to affect those around him.
It looked like a tornado hit sometime early this morning, and it wrecked us pretty bad. So we're in the process of going through to see what we're going to have to do.
For Jerry Goodrich and his neighbors, the morning took an unexpected turn.
Looks like this is where the beam from the roof, Jason roof, come through. Looks like we've got some roof damage.
At some point during last night's storm, the roof of Goodrich's textile store flew off and hit neighboring businesses.
We're going through, seeing what we can salvage.
The fellow business owners are in good spirits and look forward to the work of rebuilding.
Things happen. You just have to, move on.
But this wasn't the only place hit hard. Here behind me outside of Will Rogers Airport, you can see the damage as well. In between hangar 2 and 3, you can even see a plane buried beneath debris. A week's worth of rare fall severe weather left its mark across central Oklahoma. But area residents vowed to work together to quickly repair and rebuild. And Goodrich says his neighbors are even allowing him to store whatever he has left in their businesses. Reporting live, Kolby Terrell, OU Nightly. Thanks, guys. This morning, ME Labs reopened their free COVID testing site, which will also run weekly from Sundays through Fridays. I was able to catch up with Sean Bauman, CEO and president of ME Labs, to talk about their reopening.
There's a need for testing, and ME Labs is happy that we get to fill it.
After the recent rise in COVID cases, many people were running into a roadblock.
So just challenges for families like mine and everybody else's having access to testing, finding testing.
Now, with the help of the state health department, testing at ME Labs is underway once more.
We have a contract with the state, so that's how we can provide this service free to all Oklahomans.
And some who were tested today shared how they felt about ME's return to testing.
When COVID first hit last year, the line was clear, down to 24th, and still we got in quick, got the results quick. They're professional, and I'm grateful that they're back.
To show you just how quick and easy ME Labs is making their tests, I got one myself. And ME Labs plans to keep their testing service running weekly. And in addition to COVID testing, right behind me, ME Labs is running a drive-through vaccine pod. Reporting live, I'm Kolby Terrell, OU Nightly. Oklahoma football is big on family, and for some that rings especially true. I recently spoke with one of the most revered football families to ever grace Owen Field. Some of the greatest players of all time are immortalized in Heisman Park next to Gaylord Stadium. But now the university is going to honor a trio that lives in OU football legend.
I think it's unique because in the history of modern football, there's never been three brothers that have started side by side.
The Selman brothers hail from Eufaula, Oklahoma, the three youngest boys of 9 siblings, Lucius, Dewey, and Leroy.
3 kids from eastern Oklahoma that grew up on a 40-acre farm that were the kids of a sharecropper.
And even though they never won a Heisman, the 3 brothers have earned their spot among the greatest players OU has ever seen.
When Selman played at Oklahoma, we were 54-3-1, 2 national championships, 2 undefeated seasons.
I sat down and spoke with Dewey Selman, the second youngest of the brothers, about the honor he's receiving.
It's a very big honor, it's one that I really can't express into words.
Dewey is as humble as ever and gives much of the credit to his brothers and his head coach. Would you attribute those championship runs to Coach Switzer?
I have to. I have to start at him first, because any team has to be given a vision.
I'm surprised they would say that. I contributed to all the we all did it together. We did it as coach. We all had a role.
For OU fans, the Selman brothers are a package deal. For the rest of the football world, one stands above the rest.
Well, let me tell you, one of those guys are better than any of those statues is Leroy Selman.
But a stroke brought an early end to Leroy's life when he died at 56. Still, the legend carries on.
I know that Uncle Leroy lives in the heart of my dad, in the heart of my Uncle Lucius, in the heart of Leroy's family.
The statue, which will go up just north of Heisman Park at some point during the 2022 football season, is more than just an honor for the Selman family.
If there's one word that I think of over a weekend when the statue is unveiled, it'll be joy.